Hello and welcome back to the Strictly Muscles Chronicles. My name is Martin. I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach, and muscle activation technique specialist in Chicago. I put together the Chronicles to provide exercise, nutrition, and mindset practices to help you persevere well during the COVID-19 pandemic. My purpose is to guide people to more resilient mental and physical lives, and I believe nutritious eating, exercise, and healthy habits are all part of living a life of purpose and resilience. For nutrition this week, I thought we'd switch gears from this awareness, which is all important. Continue to build up that skill of your hunger cues, your fullness cues, 80% full, eating slowly, all those skills you've developed over the last 3 weeks. But I thought, hey, let's do something we can see. And so yesterday I talked about using your hand to determine your portion size of your nutrients. So when I talk about nutrients, I'm talking about protein, vegetables, carb-dense foods, and fats. I thought about the benefit of using your hand portion, your hand size to determine your portion is that, well, they're with you at all times, okay? So, and they're very specific to you. Typically, the average person who's a larger person is going to have bigger hands. A person who's smaller is going to have smaller hands. My parents are a perfect example of this. My mom's almost 5 foot tall. She'll probably say she's 5, but she's a little bit under now. So her hand is going to be much smaller than my dad, who's 6'2" plus, okay? But it doesn't matter because they're just using their portion control, their palm, their fist, their cupped hand, their thumb to determine their portions of their nutrients. So a review of yesterday is palm. This way and this way is your protein. Vegetables. Cupped hand is your carb-dense food, and your thumb is your fats. All right, so how? I thought about this over the last 24 hours is how can we implement it? And, going back to creating a habit is let's make it so it's doable even on your worst day, not on your best day. So the thing that first popped in my head is, well, let's just pick one meal and portion out all your nutrients on your plate using your palm. Then I go, well, that might be a little hard for somebody. So let's swing a little bit easier. Let's make it as easy as possible. And I thought, well, I'll just pick one nutrient that you want to focus on using your hand and setting the portion off that. So, of a protein, well, I can easily cut a piece of chicken or a fish or a steak to match my palm size. So that's what I chose to do as my easiest possible task. Next thing, I wanted to have everybody tie this into the previous skills that we've been working on. You're being aware of your hunger, fullness, and satisfied cues. Don't just ditch that. Say, hey, I've got that. Continue to build on that. And eating till 80% full, satisfied but not stuffed. So just use this as a habit stacking in order to get more control of your awareness. And now we're going, okay, let's get some tangible things in there. If anybody is curious about having a handout, maybe you're a visual person, please reach out to me. I'll put a place where you can reach out to me in the show description, and I'll send that precision nutrition handout infographic to you. Time for exercise. Stacy's back. Give her a thumbs up. So today we're going to do a chest press with the tubes. We've already gone over how to assess your capabilities with this with our push-ups. So you're just checking, hey, can you get into these positions? And can you do this path of motion, this forward and backwards thing? In terms of equipment to have, well, tubes would be helpful. All right, so if you've ordered those, you will have these available to you now. Have a chair with a back as well. You want to have something when you're pushing forward that you can push back into. That'll give you a little bit more strength and give you more of a chance to challenge the muscles that we're doing here. Is front of the shoulders into the sternum, so your chest and anterior shoulder. In terms of how to execute it, we're going to cover that. But the cool thing that I like about using the tubes is it allows you to create a different challenge for you at home. So me being the anchor, if you have a spouse or a child that can help you with this, it's a really cool experience from workout to workout. So we're going to cover how to do that. Oh, Stacy's just bringing her arm up. Now, what I'm going to do is just start off, and I have the tube back. She's leaning back. I'm going to have it in between her elbow
and her shoulder, and then she's just going to press forward. And that's lining up straight down her arm. So she's got a little bit more challenge when she's out here than when she gets all the way in, okay? Because right here, the resistance is essentially balanced through her arm and her shoulder. So if I wanted to make that a little bit more of a challenge for her, I'd have the person helping you out move out a couple of degrees. So now, if you pause there, Stacy, it's about, I don't know, 3-4 inches away from her shoulder. So now it's going to be much more of a challenge for that from the shoulder and chest through the bicep as well. Okay, so again, we're coming out here, we're stop, pause, right there, okay? And then now you're pressing forward. All she's doing is just pressing straight forward. Can you feel the difference there?
Yes.
There you go. So it's a way to take this exercise from one workout to the next workout, doing the same motion, but creating a different challenge for your muscles. Execution. She was doing that perfectly. She's pressing her arm all the way straight, challenging herself through the chest, through the front of the shoulders. And you notice how well she did in getting into that all the way out in front of her, and then slowly come out of it and stopping back here, nice and solid, and then pressing forward again. So I challenge everybody to do that with your chest exercise as a variation of the push-ups that you've been doing the last 2 weeks.
All right, time for some mindset. So yesterday, I shared with you my purpose and how I believe that we can introduce nutritious eating, exercise, and healthy habits in order to live a life with purpose. And I fine-tuned it a little bit to a life of purpose and resilience. So today, what I wanted to have, and I ask everybody to kind of start thinking about what your purpose is. So a link that I found, and I'll share this in the show description here, is Jack Canfield. He is the co-author of the Chicken Soup series, and I thought he had a good little post on 10 habits to develop your passion in life or your purpose. There's a nice video in there. So I encourage everybody to check out that in the show notes and then find the link, read through it. Won't take you too long. The video is 8 minutes, so enjoy that. Now, what that led me to do is find what I thought was a purpose, okay, or a quote to help us with this, and it's from Seneca. He wrote, "Virtue depends partly on training and partly on practice. You must learn first and then strengthen your learning." And the point I wanted to share with that was that we've got to learn it first and then we have to practice it. So learn what your purpose is and then go out there and see how you can do it every day, even if it's just for a couple minutes each day, and then build that up. I'm big on that progression. So find your purpose, learn it, practice it, build that skill. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.